All right. So today we're going to go over AWS Elastic Beanstalk or Stock. So pretty much what Elastic Beanstalk is an automatic deployment tool that will kind of create network resources for you to deploy your application. Yep, that's pretty much it. Quick and dirty. Does someone want to read the introduction, all that for us?
Yeah, I gotcha. Elastic Beanstalk is a fully managed service that makes it easy to deploy, run, and scale web applications and services. It automatically handles the deployment details, capacity provisioning, load balancing, and automatic scaling of the application, thereby allowing developers to focus on writing their code rather than managing the infrastructure. It supports a variety of programming languages, making it a popular choice for developers working with a wide range of tech: Java, Python, Ruby, Node, PHP, Go, .NET, and Docker. For each of these programming languages, Elastic Beanstalk provides pre-configured environments and platform-specific deployment options. This allows developers to quickly deploy and scale their applications without having to worry about managing the underlying infrastructure.
That is all good stuff. So today we're probably just gonna do like a Node.js or like a Python, I believe. But really it all works the same, whether whatever language or platform that you want to use. Elastic Beanstalk will provide it as long as it's in one of these eight. Um, yep. Let's go on to how does it, well, also there's one more thing I wanted to mention. What was it? It's in here. No, okay, we'll get to that later. All right, never mind. Forget I said that. Okay, so choose a platform. You're just going to choose, Python, Ruby, Node, JS, Docker, all of those, any of them. You're going to upload your code, upload the application to the Elastic Beanstalk, and it uses the application code, and also you're able to create an environment that will like spin up the necessary like components that you'll need for like networking servers and stuff that will support your application. So provision resources. So there is a an option if you like go and manually create it, and you'll get to pick out how many instances you want, or like the VC or V the VPC. Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking Oracle right now with VCNs. Anyway, so you just provision the resources, or it'll just do it for you. So it's pretty cool. And it also manages it all for you. And then you just deploy and manage your applications. If you want to make a simple change, you can absolutely do that. You just do like a git commit again, and then you'll just run like a deploy command, and it'll just run through it, and it'll just update it. So super easy, super fun, and it's pretty useful. So I don't think you'll actually probably ever use this as like an enterprise level application that needs to be super scalable, because you want it to be um, a lot more configurable to your nature. It's a good quick and dirty resource if you want to do like testing. That's awesome. Or if you have like a personal project, that's great too. I forgot who it was, but someone, maybe it was Tristan, had the resume domain. They just created like a resume profile thing that they'd put on the resume or application. I don't know. It was super cool. So this would actually really help out with that. To just kind of test your code. So let's see. There are five components that make up the Elastic Beanstalk: the application, the environment, the version, the configuration, and the solution stack. The application is pretty self-explanatory. It's your application that you build in your code, and you upload that. Your environment is just a version of your application that is running to set up the resources, such as EC2 instances, databases, and load balancers. The version, you just have like specific like snapshot versions of your code, right? It's kind of like Git, right? Like version control. You're just gonna have different versions. You can always roll back if you want to. Configuration, pretty self-explanatory. It's just a configuration file of your settings for your application and your build. So you can really change up anything in there. We'll get into that a little bit later and show you there's like it builds out a configuration file that you're able to view, change, modify as you would want. Solution stack. Elastic Beanstalk Solution Stack is a pre-configured set of software that can be used to run applications. Each solution stack includes a web server, application server, and other necessary software to run the applications. So Elastic Beanstalk pretty much takes care of all that for you. Does someone want to read the benefits of Elastic Beanstalk?
Let's see. Benefits of Elastic Beanstalk. So here are some benefits using AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Easy to use. Elastic Beanstalk simplifies the process of deploying and managing web applications on AWS by automating many common tasks such as provisioning resources, deploying code, and handling scaling and availability. Flexibility. Elastic Beanstalk supports a variety of platforms and frameworks, allowing developers to choose the tools that best fit their application. Scalability. Elastic Beanstalk automatically scales your application up or down based on the traffic, ensuring that you have the resources you need to handle spikes in traffic without having to manually provision resources. Cost effective. Elastic Beanstalk optimizes resource usage, allowing you to save money by only paying for resources you actually use. High availability. Elastic Beanstalk includes built-in features such as automatic instance replacement and load balancing to ensure that your application stays up and running, even if individual instances or resources fail. Monitoring and logging. Elastic Beanstalk provides built-in monitoring and logging tools that make it easy to identify and troubleshoot issues in your application. Security. Elastic Beanstalk includes security features such as network isolation and encryption, ensuring that your application and data are protected, and then integration with other AWS resources. Elastic Beanstalk integrates with other AWS resources, services such as RDS, S3, CloudFront, making it easy to use services in conjunction with your application. So summarizing, overall, Elastic Beanstalk simplifies the process of deploying and managing web applications on AWS, enabling developers to focus on writing code rather than managing infrastructure.
Thank you very much, James. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Elastic Beanstalk can be a powerful tool to utilize. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty cool. And then there are some disadvantages that I kind of mentioned quickly earlier, like the limited control, which would be a big no-no or something you probably would not want to use in like an enterprise application because you want more control. But limited control. Elastic Beanstalk abstracts away much of the underlying infrastructure, which can limit the level of control that you have over your application's environment. Complexity. Elastic Beanstalk can be complex. I think it's not that complex though. But it does do a lot for you though, so it can simplify some stuff. But let's see what it says. While Elastic Beanstalk simplifies many aspects of deploying and managing web applications, it could also be complex to configure and customize in certain scenarios. Yeah, that is true. Like setting up like the EB client, as you'll see like later on, this isn't totally filled out. It doesn't have the most details for like the assignment. So I think there's going to be some questions later on. But we're going to bypass some stuff and make it a little easier. We're just going to use like the cloud terminal. But anyways, cost. While Elastic Beanstalk can be cost effective in many cases, it could also be more expensive than managing infrastructure directly in certain scenarios, especially if you need fine-grained control over your resource usage. That also kind of goes to your limited control as well. Lock-in. Using Elastic Beanstalk can make it more difficult to migrate to another platform or provider since it abstracts away from many aspects of the underlying infrastructure. I didn't think about that, but that's actually a very good point. If you kind of give up your ability to manage your own infrastructure and create and control every little detail about it, and then it makes it a lot more difficult to migrate it over. Platform limitations. Elastic Beanstalk supports a variety of platforms, but it may not support every platform or version that you need for your application. Cool. Do we have any questions thus far? Cool. I guess we could jump in demo then. That's the fun part, right? So anyways, I'm gonna go a little off script, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. But anyways, so let's go to AWS. I'm in Elastic Beanstalk right now, but if you don't know how to get to it, you just type in Elastic Beanstalk. Same with anything else. Actually, we're gonna do this from the Cloud Shell. So there's a couple ways to do it. You could do well, one, you could have it in your regular terminal. You just need to like download like the Elastic Beanstalk CLI, and probably configure it with like your AWS CLI. That's not, I don't have that done yet. So we're just gonna do Cloud Shell because it's already baked in. Also, you could also just do it manually and create the application. But for this demo, we're just gonna be doing it through the Cloud Shell. So which one am I in? Cool, I'm in the root. Let's see what I have in here real quick. Looks like I have nothing. So that is, oh, actually I have this right here. I actually want to remove that because I had that earlier. Let's just, actually, we could just make a new directory. So make directory, Reno, let's call it something better. It doesn't really matter. So AWS, Elastic Beanstalk, why not? And let's CD into it. CD, did I do that wrong? Oh, it's a capital B at the end, not a lowercase b. Okay, and we'll clear that off. I don't know why, I just like to clear it off, kind of makes it look a little cleaner. But anyways, so we're gonna do a git clone here. Let me pull up my notes from earlier. It's actually one of Chandra's repos, and we're going to be deploying one of his apps. Here. I will put it in the DevOps EW Bravo chat. The command for the git clone. Let me leave a little comment. Okay, cool. So that's in Slack, and we shall clone that down. Okay, that's all good. Let's see what's inside of it. We have Node.js-HW. Okay, let's CD into that. Okay, and so as you can see, you have an app.js, package JSON, and a package lock.json. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to make a requirements.txt folder. So to do that, we're just going to do touch requirements.txt. So, and then I don't know, are you guys familiar with like VI, like that command, like Vim? I think there's also like nano.
Do we need that for Node?
Yes, requirements.txt.
Yeah, isn't that Python?
So you could use it for anything. So it's literally just a requirements, like a text file, and you can put the dependencies you want in there, and then you can install it if you want. But it's really just a file that's meant to hold dependencies.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So we've made that requirements ls, and someone's got their mic on. Okay, it's quiet now, so we're good. Anyways, so as you can see, we did an ls, a list command, and we can see our requirements.txt. However, it is empty. So let's fill it up. We can do a vi and then requirements.txt. If you don't know, you can tab it out to finish it off. And then we'll press an I to enter into insert mode. And then for this, we're just going to want a dependency of Flask. So I'll press escape to enter out of escape mode, and then a colon, and then a W to save it, and a Q to quit out of that. So now if we do a cat command on the requirements.txt, we will come back and see that it has the contents of Flask. So when it goes and downloads, or you can do like in Python, if you do like a pip install -r, like requirements.txt, then it will go ahead and just download all of the dependencies that are in that in that file, and so forth. Everyone following along so far? Perfect. I like that. Okay, so we did that, and then let's go back to the curriculum real quick, because there was a part in here. It was this. I don't think we actually need a virtual environment, but let's just put it in here just in case. So what this is doing is it's saying, hey, put VMV in. It's just another way of doing pretty much what we did before. And then it's just pointing it towards this new file that we don't have created yet. So it just pretty much creates that file and then it puts that content of VMV, VE, and V in it. So if we do it ls-a, it'll show us like all the hidden files. We now see the dot elastic beanstalk ignore. If you could also just cat that dot ev ignore, and it shows you that you have your virtual environment in it. So the next thing I believe we need to do is we need to do a git init or initializing or git repository. So I've just did a git init, and then we need to add all the contents. So if you don't know, you can do a git add and then a period. The period stands for like all. We could actually do a git status now and see everything that we've done and that we've changed in it. So let's clear that off. Excuse me. And then next thing we need to do is a git commit. We want to commit it -m and just say, I don't know, you can say whatever, initial commit. Okay. So now we have committed our file. So I believe the next thing we can do, since we have, we've git cloned the application, we have updated our app or our requirements.txt, and we've made our elastic beanstalk ignore file. So the next thing we can do is run a command called ev. This would be using the elastic beanstalk CLI, and it's already built in the cloud shell, so everyone should be able to do this directly from the cloud shell. And then we're going to initialize it. And it should prompt up this prompt with all these different questions that we need to fill out. So let's up this and let's see what we want to fill out. So I'm in Ohio region, so let's stick with that. Let's go down and find, where is Ohio? It is 14. Okay, so let's start on 14. Select an application to use. Let's just, I don't know, let's create a new application. Why not? And yep, we'll just stick with the default. So I'll just press enter, which is Node.js W2. I've already created this one up here. That's why it's popping up. So let's just ignore that. Are you using Python? I'm not actually. Was this Python? Or I thought it was. No, so it's not Python. I think it's JavaScript. Yep, Node.js. So 6, right? Yep, 6. And then let's go to 3, running on this Node.js 18 on Linux, Amazon Linux instance. Do you wish to continue with code commit? So that just means like the current like git commits that I just previously did. So yes, we want those. And we are going to create a new repository. And okay, origin 2. Yeah, that sounds fine. We'll keep it as origin 2. Branch name is master, that's fine. Usually, typically you would want to be working on like your own branch, but for a demo, I think it's okay just for master because I'm really the only person that's going to be messing with it. Do we want SSH access into them? Absolutely. Because that's always fun. And then we'll just do a key pair that I've already had. I have a AWS key, so I'll hit 6. Cool. And so this is the cool part now. Now we can go to our applications in Elastic Beanstalk, refresh it, and here it is. So that is part 1 to it. So we've created the application. However, we still need to do the environment. Okay, oops, that is something else. And okay, so to create the environment, you just run this command right here. It's in the ebdeployments.md. And since it's all kind of linked in too, since I'm already like in this Git repository, it all links together. So if I just wanted to create that, I would just run the command and it'll link it up to my application. So EB create, and then that's going to be the name of the environment. And then dash dash single. I'm actually not entirely sure what that flag does, but I'm sure if we open up the man pages, it would show. So this does take a minute to load. It's got to spin up like some instances and all the other good stuff. You kind of see this through like the logging of it. But it does take a minute. So while we're waiting, does anyone have any questions? Cool. Everyone's following along. Everyone knows it. Great. So yeah, you can do this in the terminal, but like I said earlier, you would have to probably download the Elastic Beanstalk CLI as well as the AWS CLI, and yeah, and then get it working from that way. So you can absolutely do this locally on your AWS account as well. And there's also this manual process. I feel like it takes a little bit longer, depending on who does it, I guess. I'd much prefer doing it this way, just right through Cloud Shell. I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty smooth process. And it's kind of fun just always playing around in the terminal, right? Let's see. We're waiting for the instances to launch. So after this is fully launched, we'll be able to like check the health of it and everything. And it should be green. But it'll also shoot us out a domain, and so we'll be able to like click on that domain and see the application run like real time. You guys excited for your assessment? I believe it's what, Friday, Saturday, maybe?
No.
It's all good.
Say
I have
I'm
no idea.
excited.
Do I get bonus points if I say yes?
Michael knows how to play the game. Michael's so stoked for this. He can't sleep.
That's right. The sleeping part's right, at least.
Yeah, I'll have to hit up Julius because I have no idea what's on the assessment. So I'm a bit curious myself what you guys are going to be doing.
I'll be a little sarcastic and say, I hope we can get a couple more lessons in of new material that won't be on the test between now and.
So I would be surprised if Elastic Beanstalk is on the test. Don't take my word for it or anything like that, because I have no idea what's on the assessment, nor have I done the DevOps course myself. But I have an idea of what you'll be doing, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just shut up and continue on the lesson. So.
Well, Julius shared an outline, so I think we've got a rough idea, and tomorrow's dedicated to it, from my understanding. So
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna be hopping on. Preston's got some stuff going on, so I think we're gonna like tag team tomorrow and answer any kind of questions that you guys may or may not have. But yeah, cool. All right, so back to the lesson or demo, I should say. So this is our application. It is now successfully launched the environment with all our goodies inside of it that Elastic Beanstalk creates for us. You can see that through all this stuff. So that's all good. And here's our environment. So if we go and click on our application, there's a warning. I don't know what that is. Let's see. What is that warning? Probably nothing good. I don't know. It's not one to pop up. But anyways, so we should be able to click on our domain and it should show us our application. Look at that. Cool. It works. So now, so what happens if you want to change your application now? What do you have to do? You've got all this cool stuff deployed out and you don't know how to change it. Okay, so real easy. So if you just go back to your terminal and back in our app.js, we know that keeps all our good stuff. So if you want to go edit it, hit VI and then app.js, hit insert mode. And let's just say we want it to change I don't know, we just want to change this text from hello DevOps on dev to hello DevOps from Elastic Beanstalk. Okay. We'll just, and that's all we want to do. Real simple. We'll just escape out of that insert mode and then colon. W saves it, Q will quit it, and enter. Okay, so now we have that. That is updated. We could actually check by doing a cat app.js. Yep, and you can see hello from Elastic Beanstalk. So now we need to redeploy the application. And so if you go back into the curriculum and the deployments.md, there all the way at the bottom, there'll be this EB deploy. And that's really the only command you need to do. And so you'll just run it and it'll go through and do all its magic Elastic Beanstalk stuff. I think it takes like a minute or two. But then you'll actually just be able to see it on here. I don't think the domain would change. I think you just have to refresh it after it finishes deploying, but we'll watch it. But I mean, that's pretty much it for Elastic Beanstalk. So do you guys have any questions on that while we're, oh, it actually just finished. So we should be able to. Okay, so maybe we do have to click on the domain again. Why did it not deploy the new stuff? Did it not finish? Applier environment, update it successfully. Application version was deployed, running on these two instances. Okay, maybe it's just taking a second to load. Did I do something wrong? Did I not save it?
I believe we saw you save it, and then you did the cat and app.js. So
Let's see. From Elastic Beanstalk, that is correct. That looks good. Let's see. Let's go back to the curriculum. I don't think I missed anything. Oh, do I have to initialize it again? I don't think so. Create. I shouldn't have to create a new environment. EB deploy. Let's just run that again and see what happens. I'm curious about what this warning is, though. Let's.
I think if you scroll down, there was a health tab, and I think it just opens up that health tab.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it says status okay. So, I mean, either way, we got the first part, so that's good. But when I was doing this earlier, it 100% worked. You just do the EB deploy and it changed it. So maybe we just have to, maybe it just takes an extra second to finish up. So let's see. It's starting, deploying a new version of the instance, and complete. So let's go and check that again. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not changing, but I'll have to look into that. But that's it for the lesson. So let me